Michael Eaves from SportsCenter is going to join us here in just a moment. He was on the air with me the day it happened, and he covered the Lakers for many years. And Key, I just want to bring up something that Michael had told me that really resonated with me, having been in Los Angeles to cover some of Kobe's greatest moments. And this is something you've actually said on the show when we have discussed Kobe Bryant on occasion, and we'll discuss him in detail this morning. And Michael said to me that day, he goes, "You have to understand this, and you can't understand this unless you're in Los Angeles," which is to say that there will never be an athlete that is more linked with the city that he played in than Kobe. More than Michael in Chicago, more than Tom in Boston, more than anybody you could think of. Those are the ones at the top. Because obviously those two guys went on to play for different franchises. And yes, of course, Kobe was drafted by Charlotte and his draft rights were traded to the Lakers. But he goes, you can't understand the pull of the city. Kobe and LA are like one. They are attached at the hip. They are intertwined like no other player and no other city. And Key, I mean, it's your city. You're a hardcore Laker fan. And when Michael said that, I said, I knew they were connected, but to that level.
Yeah, and you mentioned other great athletes, but the Kobe thing is so crazy because my body just got chills. But the Kobe thing is just different. It's one of those situations where, yeah, we didn't draft him per se,
right? But
we drafted him. He never took
He's a lifelong Laker.
Yeah, he never took a shot for Charlotte. So when you think about it, through whatever it is, the bad shots in Utah to the championship shots later on, we watched him grow. Was there every single moment of his NBA career on and off the court.
Yeah.
So it's like he is ours in Los Angeles. It is interesting, Jay, because prior to LeBron James coming to the Lakers, I was one of the first people, as wild as it can be, no, we don't want him. I don't want LeBron James. Because of Kobe Bryant. Like, I was one of those people that said, no, I don't want LeBron James. I don't give a damn who he is. I don't want him. And LeBron is a friend of mine. But I didn't want him because of the threat to the Kobe Bryant legacy. It's the threat of that, right? It was just that I don't want him coming there. I don't know what it was. It was one of those feelings, Jay. It's like, nah, man. He cool. Let him stay in Cleveland. He cool. He can play in Cleveland.
This
let him
legacy's
go somewhere.
Okay without Bron.
No, I get it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man, because you so entrenched in who Kobe Bryant is. I mean, like, think about it, man. There's not a lot of players in the NBA or any other sport that you pay to go see. You when Kobe Bryant rolls into town, you pay to go see Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Yeah, he's with the Lakers, but I'm going to see that dude. You know, if it's a preseason game and he's going to get 20 minutes, I'm going to see him. So, you know, that's just the way it is. It's not a lot of athletes that's linked to their cities that's like that.
I would say, Key, that the beautiful thing about that feeling that you had about not wanting LeBron James for that instant of a moment, right? Because that's Kobe, is that ultimately Kobe Bryant wasn't insecure with his own legacy to hinder that, right? Kobe Bryant, in a way, opened the door for LeBron James to come to LA, which speaks volumes about how Kobe thought about this organization and where you thought potentially Kobe's role was within the organization moving forward, you know, as a potential owner or whatever his involvement would be. I mean, his fingerprints are still all over this thing. I mean, that championship that they won last year, I think that's why it was so special. I think Kobe saw something in LeBron. You know, a lot of people say, oh, LeBron's trying to go different places. Kobe saw a leader in LeBron, you know, a guy that will be willing to carry the weight. Not a lot of players have those shoulders, man, that can carry the weight of what comes along with being a Laker, that responsibility, the heaviness of trying to win a championship. And when LeBron James made that move, he fulfilled that last year. And you felt that even with the way LeBron James handled, you know, his speech to the Staples Center about the loss of Kobe. So if that's Rob Pelinka, a guy that was Kobe Bryant's agent, being in a position that he's in right now, And all these things have happened because Kobe opened that door. And it's really incredible to see.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.